Take a look at the graphic on the screen. On the left, we have the traditional blueprint, structured, static, and necessary. But look at what happens as it moves to the right. It transforms into data. It becomes fluid. It becomes predictive. This represents the journey we are on today. We're leaving behind the days of simply counting costs on a 2D plan. By leveraging 5D BIM, we're turning that static data into a tool for strategic partnership and proactive control. Let's dive in.
I want you to focus on the graphics on this slide. On the left, you see 4 rigid, disconnected pillars. This represents the traditional cost counter. Solid, yes, but isolated. When data is disconnected, our decision-making is limited. This isolation leads to what we call a reactive stance. We're always catching up to the project. Now, contrast that with the right side. The pillars are still there, the foundational skills of the QS haven't vanished, but they are now woven together by data. This is integrated intelligence. This flow represents agility. It allows us to master market volatility rather than being a victim of it. This is the shift from process inefficiency to data-driven agility.
So, what replaces the traditional role? We call it the strategic QS. If you look at the compass, the needle is no longer just pointing at cost. It is pointing toward foresight, balancing risk, time, and quality. This transformation happens in 3 key ways. First, we move from historian to navigator. We stop writing books about where the money went and start drawing maps for where the project needs to go. Second, we shift from cost cutter to value creator. We aren't just here to slash budgets, the scissors, we are here to optimize whole life value and grow the investment, the plant. Finally, we stop being a peripheral reporter. We become a core advisor. We move from sending emails to sitting at the table, influencing feasibility and strategy from day one.
Let's look under the hood at our first engine component, 5D BIM. The core concept here is simple but revolutionary. Every digital brick has a live price tag. Look at the curtain wall detail on the screen. In a traditional workflow, this is just a drawing, but in 5D, it's a data object. If we toggle that material selection from double glazed to triple glazed, the system doesn't just change the picture, it immediately recalculates the cost. We see the unit cost and the total section cost of £1.45 million update in real time. This unlocks automated quantity takeoffs, reducing weeks of estimating into minutes, and ensures our contract administration is based on a transparent digital baseline. If 5D BIM is our dashboard showing us current speed, Predictive Analytics is our weather forecast. It tells us there is a storm coming before we even see the clouds. Look at the chart on the left. Instead of just tracking the price of steel today, the system analyzes historical trends to generate a cone of uncertainty for the future. It allows us to buy materials strategically. Now look at the right. The system spots a trend where actual spend is deviating from the plan. It doesn't just record the error, it projects it forward. See that warning label? Potential funding gap? That is an early warning system. It allows us to fix the roof before it starts raining.
If 5D BIM is our dashboard showing us current speed, Predictive Analytics is our weather forecast. It tells us there is a storm coming before we even see the clouds. Look at the chart on the left. Instead of just tracking the price of steel today, the system analyzes historical trends to generate a cone of uncertainty for the future. It allows us to buy materials strategically. Now, look at the right. The system spots a trend where actual spend is deviating from the plan. It doesn't just record the error, it projects it forward. See that warning label, potential funding gap? That is an early warning system. It allows us to fix the roof before it starts raining.
We've talked about the engine, the 5D BIM, and the predictive analytics. Now, we must talk about the fuel, because an engine without fuel is just a heavy paperweight. To get a true picture, we can't just look at our own data. Yes, we pull internal data like BIM models and ERP costs. That tells us what we are doing. But we must combine that with external data, market prices, inflation, even weather patterns. That tells us what the world is doing. When these collide in a centralized repository, we get a single source of truth. But remember, the rule at the bottom, data integrity is non-negotiable. We must extract, cleanse, and transform this data, or the predictions will fail.
Now, let's put it all together into an integrated workflow. This isn't a linear process, it is a dynamic cycle. It begins at the top right with 5D cost data generation. We extract precise quantities and costs directly from the BIM model. That data flows into integration and processing. Here, we combine the model data with external market factors, and the analytics engine applies statistical models to look for trends. The output is forecast generation. This gives us our cash flow predictions and risk flags. But the most critical part is the continuous feedback loop. As actual spending happens, that data is fed back into the system. The engine learns from reality, making next month's forecast even more accurate than this month's. So, what is the result of integrating all this technology? It transforms the QS from a cost reporter into a driver of competitive advantage. We unlock 4 strategic capabilities. First, proactive risk mitigation. We stop fighting fires. By identifying patterns early, we deploy mitigation strategies before risks impact the balance sheet. Second, optimized value engineering. We move the conversation away from cheapest price to best long-term value, utilizing lifecycle costing to justify better design choices. Third, predictive cash flow. We eliminate the surprise of funding gaps. We know exactly what the cash requirements are months in advance. And finally, strategic procurement. We use data to buy smarter, turning procurement from a transactional checkbox into a value-adding strategy.
So, what is the definition of a strategic QS? It is someone who uses foresight to become an indispensable business partner. We operate on 4 pillars. 1. We de-risk investment decisions. 2. We optimize design for long-term value. 3. We build trust through clear, actionable communication. And 4. We drive broader business strategy. By doing this, we stop being the people who say no to spending and become the people who show how to spend effectively. That is the future of our profession.
A data-driven transformation is a journey of continuous improvement, not an overnight switch. This roadmap outlines a structured, phased approach, ensuring a successful evolution from foundational planning to full-scale strategic optimization. We begin with Phase 1, Foundation and Strategic Planning. This is the design stage, meticulously planning the technology stack, data sources, and governance. We define the centralized data repository. Then, in Phase 2, pilot implementation, we test the workflows and validated technology on a single controlled project. Once validated, we move to Phase 3, scaling, integration, and cultural adoption. This is the cultural shift. We roll out the integrated system firm-wide, embed a data-driven mindset, and build core team capabilities in data science fundamentals.
The path to becoming a strategic QS is a journey, and like any major transformation, it comes with practical hurdles in technology, culture, and practice. But a clear-eyed approach is the key to success. Our first challenge is data quality and interoperability. The issue is inconsistent data and the inability of systems like BIM, costing, and analytics to communicate. The solution is straightforward. We must adopt open standards like IFC, leverage APIs, and implement rigorous data cleansing protocols to ensure quality and consistency. Our second and perhaps biggest hurdle is cultural resistance and skill gaps. Shifting from traditional methods to a data-centric mindset requires significant cultural change. The solution is to foster a data-driven culture through leadership support and heavily upskill the team in statistics, data science fundamentals, and new software platforms. Finally, as we deal with predictive models and sensitive project data, we face ethical and security imperatives. The solution here is to implement robust data security measures, including encryption and strict access controls, and regularly review our models for unintended biases to ensure fairness and compliance with data protection regulations. By strategically addressing these three challenges, data, culture, and security, we can ensure a stable and successful transition to the strategic QS model.
This roadmap shows that while the transformation is significant, the path is manageable. The decision to adapt is no longer optional, it is an imperative for success and growth. The tools are ready, the process is defined, and the strategic opportunities are clear. We look forward to realizing the strategic QS vision together. We have demonstrated today that the transformation to the strategic QS is a journey of continuous improvement. By methodically building technological capabilities and upskilling our teams, we won't just secure the relevance of the quantity surveying profession, we will redefine it. Looking ahead, the next frontier will further automate our capabilities. Artificial intelligence and machine learning will refine and uncover deeper insights from the complex data sets we've built. Even more transformative are digital twins, virtual replicas of physical assets. These twins, continuously updated with real-time data, will enable us to provide predictive maintenance insights and continuous performance monitoring long after construction is finished. By seizing the strategic advantage offered by 5D BIM and Predictive Analytics, quantity surveyors are positioned to become the indispensable architects of financial certainty in the built environment's digital future.
Thank you. We have covered the imperative for change, the technology that drives it, and the strategic capabilities it unlocks. By acting now, we transform the quantity surveyor into an indispensable strategic partner. I'm happy to take your questions. If no questions, till next time, happy costing.